book launch, and I am driving around town right now, putting copies of my book into little free libraries locally, just to get my name out here more locally and encourage people to pass around copies of the new book. So I signed them all. I put little local author tags to help them stand out in the libraries, and wrote a little note inside encouraging them to pass it along to a friend after they finished reading. So that is what I'm doing just for a little bit of time before my book launch. Okay, it's the evening before launch, and I am making all of the updates to my website and all the things that I typically do the day of launch, but I don't want to forget anything, and also it stresses me out because it's just one extra thing to do tomorrow when I'm already trying to do a bunch of other things. So I'm just basically going into my website, any place where it says pre-order or, it's out October 1st, I'm just changing it to say that it's available now, it's available to order now. Just tweaking that language really so that it's very clear that it's out. I'll also do the same thing on my social medias. And that's something that I feel like gets forgotten about, is changing your bio to say the book's available now, no longer saying pre-order or coming soon. Your link in bio, making sure that that's going directly to the book, changing your call to action. So all of that I just go and do typically the morning of, but I'm doing it right now instead. This is so exciting. It's been a year and a half-ish since I last got to do this, so very exciting. Actually, I'm going to delete this too. I'm going to say this. So in case you didn't know, if you make an Amazon author page, you can link your books, and you can also, under reports and marketing, do book recommendations. So I'm going to click create recommendations and then go to books I've written, and you can add your books. Oh, I didn't actually know you had this add note. Explain why. Ooh, okay. So I'm going to do that. I didn't know that was a thing. I don't think that was the last time that I updated this. So I'm going to add one for my newest book. Okay, wait, I love that there's a place for me to fill it in. So I'm going to do that for sure. Yay. So then whenever people come to your Amazon listings or go to your Amazon author page, they can find all of this, which is really cool. Oh my gosh, it is launch day. It's here. It's already been so hectic and I didn't want it to be, but it is. It's 11:30 and I'm just now vlogging for you. I have a Instagram live stream launch party in about 30 minutes. So I've been marking the pages that I'm going to read from my book and gathering all of the questions that were pre-submitted. I just popped up on my story on Instagram a few times asking anything for my book launch party. So I've just gathered those questions together. So I'm ready to go in about 30 minutes for my live stream. And then what else have I done today? I sent out my announcement newsletter to my email list, and I am trying to set up ads right now. I don't usually do or never have done Facebook ads for a launch of mine, but I wanted to give it a try this time. So I have the creative. I'm just putting that together. It's just taking me some time. I'm going to do a mix of warm and cold audiences. So I'm going to do a warm audience of people who have visited my website in the past few months, as well as people who have engaged with my Facebook page or Instagram page in the past 3 to 6 months, and see how that audience performs versus a cold audience of people who like poetry or like the themes in my books. And then I think I might also do a local one, since I'm trying to build more connections in my city and just target my city and say hey, I'm a local author, my new book's out. See what happens. So I'm going to try to set those up this afternoon after my live stream is over. Oh, of course, I announced it on social media. So I posted my announcement on Instagram. And so a lot of my day has been responding to everyone's support, which is so nice. But just responding to comments and people sharing it in their stories and making sure that I'm thanking them. I just always want to show my appreciation because it's time out of anyone's day to support an author. And I think it's so important to thank them and show your appreciation. So I'm trying to respond to everybody. It's taking some time, but I need to set aside a couple hours to really like focus in on these ads and make sure that that's also a priority. All right, let me show you some of the things I'm working on and we'll just see how the day goes. All right, if you're not familiar with Facebook ads, this might look like chaos, but I set up these 3 custom audiences today that are populating for people who have visited my website or engaged with my Instagram or Facebook page. So I'm going to try to target this lovely, warm audience of mine who has engaged with me and see how that goes. Instagram live stream done. Only went about 30-35 minutes, answered lots of questions, read poems. I'm sweating, to be honest. I don't really get nervous for them anymore, but just like having to do all of that in a short period of time and like be animated and excited. It was getting hot in here. Ads campaign live. So I feel like I covered most of the things I want to do. The last thing on my list for today is to follow up on the press releases and media pitches that I sent last week. Now that today's release day, I honestly don't have my hopes very high. I try to stay optimistic with these things. But whenever I'm trying something new, I don't have like a publicist team or anything like that. So I'm just submitting press releases on my own. But it's worked well for me in the past. I've gotten a couple media features because of it. So we're going to give it a try and follow up with these journalists. So wish me luck. Okay. I genuinely do not know what happened to today. It's been so busy and it's gone so fast. So it is 3:15. And I'm going to run to the post office to send a couple copies of books to a couple people that I wanted to send books to. So I'm just signing them. It's been crazy. I feel like no matter how much you prepare, there's still things that come up. And something came up around lunch today that sent me into an actual panic. It was just all over the place. It was only like a 30-minute panic, and everything's fine. But that set me like down an unproductive path for a little bit. So now I feel like a little bit behind, but I just am looking forward to relaxing tonight because I'm going to go live later on TikTok tonight and celebrate with my readers there. But I'm also going to a nice dinner with my husband to celebrate. So we're just going to focus on that and not all the stress of book launch. But it's been such a good day, and I just love a book launch day because I just connect with so many people that maybe they're not super engaged on social media. They don't always comment, but on launch day, a lot of people show up. And that's just a reminder for me and for you that even if it feels like you're not speaking to people on social media or they're not hearing you, they are. There's so many quiet users out there. And I'm one of them that doesn't really comment all that much to a lot of people that I follow. And I try to be good about it and try to be better about it, but it's true. And a lot of us are like that. So there are people listening and watching and hearing you, and they're excited for your upcoming launches and things like that. They just might not be outwardly showing it like we would want. So just keep that in mind and keep going and keep promoting yourself. All right. I ordered some stickers from Canva. Actually, this was my first time ordering from Canva, and they come in like sheets that you can like cut, which I don't love because, well, it's I guess a little bit more like manual work to have to cut each one out, but also because they're super close together. So whenever I do cut them, there's like barely any margin for these stickers. So not the biggest deal, but there's definitely places where you can get stickers more affordably than Canva, but I designed them in Canva, and it's very creative that they just let you check out right on the page. So anyways, read more poetry sticker. And then I also have stickers of like little poems of mine, which is a poem in the book. So I've just been sending out these little things. And then of course I also have my bookmarks where I made a huge mistake and put a QR code on them. And the QR code requires a subscription that I pay for the year. And I'm not going to do that because there's lots of places where you can make QR codes for free. And I just quickly was rushing and found a free QR code website, and then they trick you into paying for an annual subscription. And I'm not about that. I'm not into being tricked. And the website's on there. Like I put my actual URL at the bottom. So the QR code isn't going to work as I hand out these bookmarks to people for probably the next however many years because I ordered a ton of them. Mistakes happen. So sharing that to let you know that we all make mistakes with our launches and have little silly moments. So I'm going to give her one of these and then a postcard, which I showed in my last vlog of me ordering these postcards. All right, let's go to the post office. Finishing getting ready to go to dinner. We're going to a place called Barcelona because I wish that I was back in Barcelona and I loved the food there. So we're hoping that this place in the Midwest of the US tastes just as good as authentic food in Barcelona. So we'll see. But I can at least pretend for today, for my book release day, that I am back in Spain and living my best life. So that's where we're going. And then I think after that, we're going to see if there's any other little libraries that we can drop my books off at. And then I'm doing a little launch party poetry reading just on TikTok, like a virtual live stream for my readers. So I'm struggling with this. Did that work? I think. Okay, perfect. Hello, it is Thursday now, so it's been a couple days since the book release and I have failed at vlogging a little bit. Today's National Poetry Day, so I wanted to jump on that, considering my book is poetry, and send out a reader newsletter thanking my readers for an amazing release day, also posting about it and a little bit about my story on Instagram. I recommend if there is like a special day for your genre or niche that you put that in your calendar as like a recurring reminder so that you don't forget and can kind of share your story on that day. Of course, you can share your story any day, but I think that it helps whenever there is a day dedicated to it because a lot of people tend to be talking about it. But yeah, the last couple of days have just been a whirlwind. I honestly was very exhausted, mentally exhausted yesterday, and took it easy in the afternoon after doing a lot of promotion again in the morning. But Tuesday was amazing, and I had hundreds of people showing up for my launch party live streams. I had tons of people sharing copies of their books as they came in and tagging me, which is always fun to see that, and it gives me motivation to continue promoting it. And then, yeah, I just sent out an email newsletter as a thank you to my readers. During launch week, I definitely recommend emailing more often than you normally would and leading up to your launch. I'm not a daily emailer for my readers. Whenever I'm running a sale for Marketing by Shelby or a launch of the club, like the club is open, I will daily email. But for my readers, I typically will do a few a week leading up to my launch, a few a week during that launch week, and then pull back again. And it depends on what you promise to your subscribers too when they're subscribing. Like, I don't say I'm going to be emailing you daily, and so I don't. It's typically weekly or sometimes even bi-weekly. So I think that's just good to remember as well whenever you're planning your own launch strategy or email marketing and all of that. It's people's inboxes, so I want to respect people's inboxes as much as possible. I also know that I have a good chunk of people who are on all of my email lists. Like, they're on my reader email list for my poetry. You're on my Marketing Monday email list. You're in the club. So you're getting more than the average person is as well. And so I try to be cognizant of that too. Anyways, great release day. So much fun. I have my book signing in a couple days, which I'm really excited for. So I will, of course, be vlogging that. Just sending out this email newsletter now to my list. The other thing that I'm prepping this afternoon is my club marketing challenge. So I'm hosting a 3-day marketing challenge that will have already happened by the time this video comes out. However, if you join the Creatives Content Club, you can access the challenge, lessons, and content and action steps in our private group. So I'm hosting a 3-day challenge to help our members get set up for success this Q4, because Q4 is such a good time to warm up your audience, get them really excited about either seeing your products as gifts or talking about how your product can set them up for success come January. So we're going to be doing some different action steps and lessons on running campaigns and making the most of this time where people are really excited to get gifts or to pursue their own personal development, things like that. So if you aren't in the club, but you'd like to get those lessons and those action steps, definitely join it. It's marketingbyshelby.com/club. I'll leave the link in the description if you're interested. But I'm really excited for that. I think it'll be really, really fun and get our club members engaged and taking action, which is, of course, so important. So that is going to be the rest of my day, I think. It is book signing day. My book signing is in about 2 hours, so I am going to prep some things for my signing. I'm bringing some bonus gifts to anyone who purchases and gets the book signed today, so I need to just kind of do like crafts almost, cutting up the stickers. I want to write some postcards as a thank you to everyone who purchases a book, and probably include like, please leave a review when you're done reading. So I'm going to do that, and then we're going to go to the signing. You know that I love a good brand, and I'm always about yellow, so this is the book signing look today. Let's do it. I also purchased this sign from Zazzle, so it just stands up on its own, and I have a couple book signings for this book, so I figured I might as well purchase a sign. This was like $20. That was so much fun. I don't do signings very often, and it was a blast. I honestly was a little bit nervous beforehand just because it had been a while since I had done like an in-person signing or anything like that. Yeah, it was great. We sold out of the copies of the other books that I had, so not my newest book, but the store had copies of my other 2 books. And then just a lot of people showed up. It was so great. New people that I had never met before who had been following me on social media, as well as friends came out to support and grab copies of the book. And yeah, it was super fun. So I'll show you some pictures from the event here. And if you happen to be in the Columbus area, the signing was at Storyline Bookshop, which is near Columbus, is in Upper Arlington, and there are still signed copies. I signed them all before I left, so if you're nearby, feel free to swing by and grab a signed copy of the new book. I think I need some downtime because this week in launches they're a lot mentally. If you've been through one, you know. But we're going out tonight to a concert, so I'm going to take it easy, I think, for a few hours and read and relax until then. But that was launch week. It was so fun. I have some events coming up. I'm doing the Louisville Book Fair October 19th, so if you're in Louisville, I'd love to see you there. That's a free event as well. I'll be signing copies of my new book there. and speaking on a panel. So lots of fun stuff coming up, but I think that's all for now. Thanks so much for watching this vlog. Please give it a like if you enjoy the vlogs, the behind the scenes. If there's anything you want to see behind the scenes of, please let me know. And if you'd like to work together on your marketing for your book, I teach social media marketing, and you can head to marketingbyshelby.com to find my club membership, which is open for enrollment, as well as multiple guides and some free resources as well. All right, have a great day. Bye.